Oh, darn. Cookie Monster just tweeted for the first time in forever. Sorry. Oh, that's got to be the stinger.
The guy's Bombad.
Welcome to the Bombad Cast. What is up, everybody? This is your boy, the Canon Junkie, Gerry. How's it going? Hope you guys are having a great week. I am just hanging out here, enjoying life, ready to talk some deep, dark speculation for the final chapter of the Skywalker saga, but I don't want to do it alone. Because I get lonely, I get a little scared, and I need someone to hold me and tell me it's okay. And the person who is going to be bringing me my warm milk is none other than Scotty J-Ro himself. What is up, Scotty?
Look, Gerry, I'll hold your Ewok hand any day through the forest of Endor and just make sure you feel nice and warm on the inside like Wicket did.
That's the
he was
sweetest.
in the warm embrace of Princess Leia. But dude, how are you doing, man? I am feeling it. I am alive. You know what? School starts this week for me, dude. We've got a lot going on. It's going to be fantastic. Tuesday, I get to meet the kiddos. Yes. And I got, you know what I have? I got the poster in my room.
What you got?
Do or do not, there is no try.
Oh, nice. And now, what is the age group again?
6th and 7th grade.
What are you getting yourself into? 6th and 7th is good.
Science, the best.
You know,
best age.
I think a good representation of what it's like to be a teacher and what like different age groups of kids are like is if you've ever watched the old Saturday morning cartoon Recess.
Oh,
that was
yes.
The kindergartners were like the tribe of
I forgot about
of
that
like cannibals
show. Yes.
Or something.
That was amazing. They were the Ewoks.
Yeah, they were the Ewoks. Yeah, and lucky for you, you do not have a tribe of Ewoks you're going to have to quell
God,
or not.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it's funny, you know, my wife was like trying to get a job at a preschool, but all they had available was the toddler room, and she was like, "Nope." So it's just we have one already, and we already, you know, like that's like having a rabid Ewok run around your house all the time.
Well, that's
everything's sticky, everything is crumb filled, and
there's spears.
You pull back the covers of your bed, and there's like bugs and grub, and it's like, how'd this stuff get it? Why are there crumbs in my bed? It happens. It happens. That's parenthood.
That's parenthood. That's the problem sometimes with having a small Ewok child. They'll do small Ewok things. So.
But that doesn't mean that it does. You know, teaching 6th and 7th grade doesn't come without its challenges because they're a little more like. They'll try to like manipulate you a little bit, right?
Yes.
Like I'm sounding very cynical about kids. I love kids. I have one.
Gerry. I don't know if anyone knows this, but Gerry really loves the scene when Anakin comes in and slaughters the younglings.
Shut up.
His face. He
just really speaks to me. No,
yeah, he sent me videos, stop motion videos of him playing with Legos, and they're like Anakin little Legos slicing little youngling Legos in half. And I'm like, not even like stop with you.
Not even stop motion, just me like moving them with my hands, like making the sound. Boom, boom, ow, my torso.
And he's taking off their wigs and putting stormtrooper helmets on them.
Kind of like if you've seen Stranger Things season 3 and stuff.
I haven't.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say whenever like, have you seen the part where like he gets like him and Dustin and Steve are doing the handshake or whatever?
Oh, I have seen that in the trailer.
And they're like, he gets like stabbed and like they pretend to like do lightsabers and he pretends to stab Steve. Steve like goes. Bleh,
I gotta tell you, Gerry, the world is against me right now. I'm gonna let the audience know I'm recording in the dark. The power went out on me, guys, and Gerry and I had to be a little do some alternative thinking with in regards to how we're going to do this episode. But look, I'm making it work. So my plan this evening was to actually get my lessons done and watch Stranger Things. But now, guess where we're at. And the world is against me. Look, here we go. I want to hear something from you, buddy. You got anything you want to update us on? Anything in particular?
Well, not really much. I actually, though, this weekend had a little bit of it wasn't supposed to be a Star Wars adventure, but it turned into it.
What?
We went to what is called in town here. They have every couple of months out of the year. They have something called Art in the Park.
Okay.
And so it's a bunch of different like local artists and artisans and craft people who make dolls, people who make art that you like stuff to hang in your home. Just metal and wood and all kinds of local materials, but also like just paints, of course paintings and different things like that. It's really cool to go and just look and see things, and of course there's food, so I'm there because we Ewoks, we love food. So
yeah, I mean you obviously love eating stormtrooper flesh.
So I expected you to laugh, so I like waited for a second. I had to look and see if you were still there. I was like, hello, is this thing on? Hello, 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 McFly.
I would have liked if I could have done the noise. What's the noise the little guy makes in Return of the Jedi when he opens up they open up the hatch for the Jabba's palace? Whatever the I can't even. I just did Bib Fortuna. Yeah. He's like, oh goodness gracious me.
Yeah, pretty much that. Yeah, you should have done. We gotta get our sound effect game on or something to like start playing those little find those little obscure sounds, that only the deep Star Wars sweaties like us know about. But anyway, So the Star Wars part of Art in the Park, if I may get back to that,
I'm sorry.
apologize.
Yes.
I say no. I say my lovely assistant came and handed me some essential oil as well for me to use. So thank you, lovely Allison.
I thought you meant Siri.
Yeah, she made a quick. You guys didn't hear her, but she made a silent cameo in here. So this is the episode that Allison stepped inside and kind of entered the Bombad world. So yeah, give Allison a hand, guys. Okay, there we go. But anyway, thank you. She's awesome. I almost yeah. Okay, let's go. So Star Wars.
In a park.
Man. I almost just, I'm getting too excited. I'm like, going to choke myself with my tongue.
Jar
Slow down, take a sip of coffee. Yeah, I know, that 3-foot tongue of mine.
Oh, man.
And by the time I get to it, people are going to be like, that's it? Really? That's what you're going to say? Come on. Like, Anthony's out there, like, sitting, he's the most patient, I feel like, of all you guys. He's going to be like, come on, Gerry, get to the point. Okay. So at this art festival in town, right? We find this booth and it has a bunch of like mashup like art of like Mickey Mouse and different cartoon characters like dressed as like mashed up with Star Wars characters. There was this cool. It was like Ray and BB-8, but Ray was Minnie Mouse.
Oh wow!
And she was like getting on the speeder, the popsicle speeder in Jakku. And it was just beautiful. I was like, oh man, I want to get some of this for my youngling
that is
someday.
Wicked awesome.
It was super cool, but he had different kinds of stuff. He had a really hilarious one that has nothing to do with Star Wars, but it was just all kinds of pop culture and stuff, superheroes and basically mainly Disney mashups.
Yeah.
But he had one that was what was it? It was the Flintstones, but he was recreating the scene from Alien, where the guy falls back on the table and the alien bursts out of his chest.
Yeah.
And Fred and Wilma and Betty were standing around horrified, and Barney was laying on the table. I don't know why you picked poor Barney. Barney was laying on the table, and Dino was coming out of his chest just smiling. God. It was horrifyingly adorable.
That's amazing.
And hilarious. It was hilarious. And there was like a dead Pooh, like Deadpool, but it was like Pooh Bear.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it was like him laying on like a tiger skin rug with everyone's heads around him. And yeah,
this dude is like... What does this have to do with Star Wars?
Well, this has to... So I go up and I'm talking to this guy saying like, man, your art is amazing and stuff. And I love especially the Star Wars stuff. So I'm a big Star Wars fan. He's like, oh, well, yeah, I was at Celebration signing stuff for the... I made this print for the 501st. I said, I was at Celebration.
And then, the record scratch.
Yeah, so I'm like, whoa, what? And so he comes back, and I'm going to have to try to find his name. Let me see here. Try to find his name. But he said, hold on, let me go around here, and he like moved a couple of totes behind his booth.
Yeah.
And he pulls out. He says, here's something from Celebration, and he pulls out this print that he made in association with R2KT. The R2 unit that is the R2KT unit.
Yeah.
He did that for that organization for the 501st.
Wow.
And it was a print from SWCC. And he signed. It was already signed, and he handed it to me. He's like, "Here, it's beautiful. It has Chewbacca. It's kind of like pop art style.
That's
it has
beautiful.
Chewbacca,
That's awesome.
and I think I posted it on my Canon Junkie Twitter, but I'll post it on the Bombad Cast site as well, or on Bombad Cast Twitter. But his name is Darren Brege or Breg. It's Brege. But go check him out, guys. He's got some awesome art. It's DarrInBrege, and he has a website. And again, I'll post the website and stuff. Go check him out. He's got some awesome, just beautiful art. Actually does a book series too with someone about something. Scott, we're interested in cryptid creatures and paranormal stuff as well. We that's one of our side interests, guys. That we talk about some stuff.
We do some deep dives into some cryptozoology and other things of that nature.
We put our tinfoil hats on and just have a lovely discussion with some coffee.
Yes,
it's lovely. But anyway, but he does like a children's book series of different like paranormal events that have happened and stuff. Kind of like books for kids about that kind of stuff. That's also a book about Bigfoot, like a storybook, like a kid's storybook about Bigfoot. It's really a bunch of really cool. If you're into like science fiction-y, like just superheroes and Star Wars, which if you're listening to this, you are, check him out. Such awesome art. But that was my Star Wars adventure for this week, Scott. And it was such a crazy thing to meet someone from Celebration in my hometown.
That's wild.
Who was just like selling, and I'm pretty sure we walked past his van on the way back to our car because there was his glove compartment. It was like the van was full of like artistic stuff, but also like there were like a bunch of old books in the Star Wars books in the glove compartment.
That's
and
amazing.
I was like, and like a Star Wars sticker and different stuff, and I was like, "That's that dude's van." I bet anything. That's so cool.
It's just proof that fandom is everywhere, and like you never know who you'll walk into, especially on an unexpected like Saturday or Sunday. It's just funny how that kind of thing happens, and like I'm very excited for whenever I start school this week for the same reason. I'm gonna meet a whole bunch of little Star Wars fans, and it's just gonna be exciting for me. Probably more exciting for me than it is for them, but
Well, maybe, but it's so exciting to meet new fans or like newer, younger fans because they're so excited about it.
Yes, and I agree, and they're all very how would you say? Some of them are naive, and it's really kind of funny, I just. And you've got a couple years on me, Gerry, and I'm sure you've got some
just
interesting, but you've got some interesting things, in regards to what you saw on Star Wars and stuff, and at that age, I remember it was 10 or 12. It's like, I love the lightsaber duels and stuff, and that's as far as it goes. But it's kind of nice to be an adult fan, and that's a weird thing to say. So if any of my students are listening, you'll really enjoy this podcast later. Hope you're enjoying it now, but you'll really enjoy it later. But anyway, Gerry.
Getting into it. Well, you know what, Scott? I think you've been up to some fun stuff this week too.
Oh my!
And why don't you let us in on some of that? Which I kind of know. Let our listeners. What have you been doing? Because you've been doing some fun, awesome stuff.
It's been a tad bit exhausting, my friends and family in the Bombad cast. I've been working on this new film that I co-wrote and I'm directed and starred in. I didn't do the main directing. I directed my best friend in it, but it's a movie called Owl's Nest, and it's kind of like a thriller. And I've made a bunch of short films before, but this is like a first like real. We had a crew. We had like a crew of like 5 people on some days, and it was intense. It was an actual thing, and the reason why I'm talking about it now because we've got like 60% of the movie done, but we had to get my best friend from Seattle to fly in and do these scenes. So when I was going to, doing my teaching stuff, because I had to go set up my classroom and stuff, I'd be at the school from around 8 to about 5, and then from 6 to about 3 or 2 in the morning each night I was like, filming. So like these past couple, this is my first day off for the past, whenever, and I've been writing lessons and stuff. But this is like my first day off, and like, ooh, I'm very happy. But y'all, if you want to check out any of the behind the scenes footage, go to my Instagram. It's Scotty. Actually, no, I'm not going to give away my Instagram because my students will listen to this, and I don't want them finding my Instagram. So go follow my Twitter, Scotty J-Ro, and you'll see some updates from it soon. I even have a little mini trailer that I created for it. And yeah, I'm very excited. It's going to be a cool, interesting movie. Also, another thing I need to update you on. I need to apologize to our beloved listeners. For some reason, when I was editing last week's podcast, I have no idea what happened at all. But like my intro was cut out, and there was like a moment of silence for like 15 seconds, and then it came in with my back being scratchy or itchy. It's just such a...
That was the weirdest time for it to come back in.
It was so one of the weirdest... I think I was somewhere at the beach with my family, and then it just didn't record. I don't know what happened. I wasn't embarrassed by it. I don't get embarrassed by a lot of things. I was definitely like, wow, well, that's a very obvious mistake. But you
guys didn't really complain about it either, so we appreciate that. No. And Scott's really throwing a lot of the blame on himself. But come on, this is a team effort and stuff, and so like funny. Guys, this stuff happens. So thank you for not like blowing us up or anything, but. Hopefully, this week's introduction will be intact. But
yes, I'd imagine it will be. Well, apparently, you'll hear it, Gerry.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway.
Well, if you don't hear it, you might lose your hearing while listening to it. I don't know.
Exactly. Besides that, another thing I recently bought, and I've been getting through, and I'm like on chapter 4 now, if I'm not mistaken, this Throwing Trees and audiobook, and I'm knocked out of the park. Mark Thompson is just the chef's kiss of all audiobooks, and I'm
so awesome.
Really looking
I've got to find a way to get my hands on it because it's
great. It's great, and it's starting to get a little thick in regards to story, and like you've got there's like a really weird trio of like power. It's got like you got Thrawn against Grand Moff Tarkin against Krennic, and that's like most of the book so far. It's that
cool. Sounds awesome. That sounds like Rogue One with Thrawn.
Yes, and then also in regards to like that kind of storytelling, it's kind of cool to see, from the Empire's perspective. I love that perspective of any Star Wars stuff. But anyway, look, I'm gonna get through this real quick. I kind of want to hype y'all up about something. There's not much to update left, but like D23 is in like the next 2 weeks. So
isn't that insane?
Yeah,
we're already past SDCC, which is San Diego Comic-Con. I tried to say it earlier like that, but I can't believe we're already in August. This is insane.
And we're going to be getting some pretty interesting stuff. Now, I don't know, Gerry, do you have like a short prediction as to what you think we might get at D23? Like
I'm going to go...
Not just the people there, like us, the people that will get it on YouTube.
I'm gonna tell people right. I've seen a few people say this that they think we're gonna get another trailer. I wouldn't get our hopes up for. I wouldn't get our hopes up for that. I wouldn't.
No.
Because I only say that because of the last 2 times we've had a saga film. The most trailers we've had was when Force Awakens came out, but that was because they were like, "Hey, Star Wars is back." They released that November trailer,
they were really hyping it up.
Full way over a year before.
Yeah.
But honestly, what the trend is at San Diego Comic-Con or D23, and it just kind of works out this year that they've got D23 coming up, so they want to save all their delicious little nuggets. They want to save them and like deal them out when they want to on their, so they can
their
be
own platform.
They want to be the big game in town. I think we are going to
understand.
Get. Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. If you were Disney, like, why not? Because you've got your own, and they want their D23. They want that to be the big thing. Mm-hmm. So that for all things Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, all of that. So it's you can't blame them. But I think we're getting Scotty. I think we're getting a behind the scenes reel.
Okay, I
which is going to have a lot of flavor to it. It's going to have a lot of flavor.
I can see that through and through, and I don't know how much of the story will reveal, but those BTS reels often reveal more than they should. Like, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it the BTS reel for Rogue One revealed that there would be Vader in the Bacta tank? If I'm not mistaken, that was in there.
I think I'd have to go back and watch it.
It was just a prosthetic. It was literally just a prosthetic in the corner, and it was like it was just a guy with arm cut off at a different area, and then a different area, and then no legs with like a breathing mask on, and it was like that's all it was.
Well, same energy, but a little less exciting. Was we got our first reveal? Who am I kidding? A first reveal of a Porg was in the behind the scenes.
That's
too.
True.
There was the leak. Yeah, there was the leak of like it was like a cartoony drawing of the Porgs, and when I first saw that, I was like, really? That's gonna be a thing in there, because it looked like a Pokemon or something.
It did.
Drawing
It did
that
look
I got.
real. Yeah.
Remember that? It was like the three of them stacked on top of
vividly.
each other. Look at those penguins with seal faces. What is this? Yeah. And then you see the animatronic one in the behind the scenes reel kind of turn to the camera, and I was like, that looks amazing. I love it. I love it already,
awesome.
guys. So never underestimate the power of these things to show you really cool, awesome stuff, but also just get you hyped for stuff that you never thought you would be hyped for.
Well, you know what? If you think I really do think we'll see this too, and I was lucky enough, fortunate enough to be in the Wintrust Arena at Celebration. I saw the Mandalorian footage and trailer. I mean, we got so much stuff that no one else saw. We got like a whole scene, behind the scenes footage, and a trailer, and like. I have a gut feeling, since Disney Plus is coming out in less than 3 months now, or just a little bit over 3 months, I'm sure they are going to get a whole other scene, possibly, there. But I think we are going to get a trailer for The Mandalorian, because that really needs to, that marketing train needs to start building up. Like, I really do think.
Absolutely.
Like, if people, like, no one I know, like, I went to that family beach trip, and I had like 30 members of my family there, and except for Troy, not a single person knew that there's going to be a Disney streaming service.
Right.
So
and these are like people who like Star Wars, but not as much as we do, right?
We go see it literally every time a new saga movie comes out. We've seen it in theaters, all of us. We take
a lot of people don't even know that Disney has a streaming. Right. A lot of people don't even know that Disney has a streaming service coming out too.
Exactly. So, and that's the ridiculous thing. And like. And sorry about my laptop. This made a crazy noise. And I hope they get that ball rolling, dude. And I hope we get a Disney Plus trailer. Like, I hope they show the Loki stuff. I hope we get a lot of content. I just hope we get overloaded with stuff. Honestly, dude,
I do too.
Not just Star Wars stuff, but Disney Plus stuff, because these people are going to need to know that this is actually coming. Because I can guarantee you, if I were to ask my students who come in Tuesday, hey, you heard of Disney Plus? They'd be like, nope, don't know it. And those are kids, and they should be on top of this. I don't know. Just how I feel.
It's one of those things, and another thing, another thing we're probably going to get, Scott?
What?
We're probably going to get that sign that they didn't mean to put out at with the stormtrooper with the Sith trooper armor at San Diego Comic-Con that they took away and replaced with the weird sign that we talked about last week. The little ridiculous. The Sith trooper will appear in The Rise of Skywalker instead of that big long thing about their last push towards galactic domination. I can't. I'm talking so fast. I'm tripping over on my words. Galactic domination. Yeah.
Yes.
Move on.
So we always do this with our shows. If you're a first-time listener, I hope you're enjoying it so far. But we do this thing called the Bombad Fact of the show. And this week, I was given the wonderful opportunity to read my Bombad Fact of the show.
Lay it on me, man. I'm ready. What is this Bombad Fact that you've brought before me? And I'm honestly looking at it right now, and what the heck?
It is the darkest thing I have ever read. This is from the Legends story of Jar Jar Binks, okay? But this is about his father, George R. Binks, okay? This is real legend stuff. Are they serious?
Are they serious? George?
I know. This is real legend stuff. Are you ready to read this?
I'm ready.
This is the summary of George R. Binks' Wikipedia page. Right?
George, I'm sorry.
George,
I'm still
it's
at
literally
George R. Binks is like it's like an alliteration of Jar Jar Binks' name. George R. Binks.
That's it's incredible. So,
well, hey, gather around, Bombad
yes,
family.
all right,
Let's have story time.
You gather
Sit around the fire.
You see me on the radio. So gather around the fire.
Gather around the map reader. Near your minds. Okay, sorry.
Here we go.
I'm working on my Yoda still.
George R. Binks was an Atolla Gungan whaler who operated and resided on Naboo. He was the owner of Binks and Son Whaling Company, continuing the profession that had been practiced by his ancestors for hundreds of years. He was, through an unhappy marriage, the father of Jar Jar Binks, who would go on to serve as the Commel Sector's representative in the Galactic Senate. Right? This is the worst thing I've ever read coming up. On a whaling voyage with his wife and son, George R. Binks encountered an aggressive whale. Thanks to numerous poor navigation choices by Jar Jar, the whale crashed into the ship, causing it to sink. After this incident, the Binks family found themselves shipwrecked on a desolate island for over a month. During this time, prompted by his annoyance at his son's constant clumsy behavior, Binks unsuccessfully attempted to commit suicide.
This is guys. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why people.
God.
This is like a darker version of. So Jar Jar Binks is essentially the.
This is horrible.
He's essentially the. Gosh, why am I blanking? He's the Forrest Gump of the Star Wars universe.
That's
my brain. Sorry, my brain was because like his father owned like Binks and Son Whaling Company and stuff, which I know that was he started working for Lieutenant Dan
Bubba.
and stuff there. Yeah, in honor of Bubba. But George R. Binks.
I just love that his Binks unsuccessfully attempted to commit suicide due to his son's constant clumsy behavior. That's unbelievable.
Oh my
Jar Jar
gosh.
had a horrible father. Terrible man.
It's like that you can tell that was written in the early 2000s. Of course, they're like, oh, you know what would be funny if Jar Jar's dad tried to kill himself because he had to live on an island with Jar Jar.
Bad.
That's straight edgelord nonsense.
That's ridiculous.
That'd be funny because everyone else would rather kill themselves than be on an island with Jar Jar Binks. And now, thankfully, we've evolved past that, right, guys?
Yeah, thank the Lord.
Yeah. But that is okay.
That's the Bombad fact of the week.
That's cheer me up, Scott. Let's
I will.
move
Look,
on.
I will. Hold on. Look, I will.
In honor of old George R. Binks. No. That guy's a jerk.
That guy's a moron. But no, especially let's think about this. Look, this episode we've got coming up, Jerry. We're going to do a unbelievable deep dive. I'm talking 12 feet deep. Into a pool, when you just got your floaties taken off your arms, and like all the kids are like, do it, and you're on the diving board. We're fixing to take that deep of a dive. Are you with me?
Or if your father George R. Binks decides it's time for you to learn how to swim, kid, I'm gonna throw you in the deep end, see if you survive.
Out of the
the type of
city we live in. You're just gonna float upward. Or downward. How water pressure works down there.
That is the type of Father George R. Binks was.
Did you think how deep that lake must have been on Naboo? I mean, it
went to the planet's core, man. Like the planet's core was straight water. Don't even ask me how that works scientifically because I don't even think that should be possible. The planet core.
Was that a sneeze?
That was supposed to be the
no, I know. I know what it was.
Scott, there's this character in Star Wars called Boss Nass.
Is he Bombad?
He's a Gungan. He is a Gungan too. He is Bombad. He makes Jar Jar a Bombad general.
And he says, Usa, all Bombad.
Yeah, he does that at the end of Early Awesome Podcast too. But anyway,
I've heard.
So this deep dive that we are going to do, Scott, we did a poll actually yesterday. We did a poll on Saturday, and we asked a question of you lovely listeners out there, and let's see. I'll read it, and then I'll let Scott tell us what the results were.
We did a poll, and we're going to read the results.
We did a poll. POLL.
We didn't make a poll. We did a poll.
The planet poll.
The planet poll.
Okay. That makes like a giant trilobite in my recording, so every time it's like super wide.
Sound waves looks like a trilobite.
It looks like a trilobite. Yeah. It's super awesome.
Fantastic.
The poll. What do you guys think? Will Luke be the only Force ghost in The Rise of Skywalker? Tell us why or why not. Hashtag stay Bombad. So, what were the results of said poll, Scotty?
Well, with a 50 votes in, we had 82% say, heck no! Which means we will probably get more Force ghosts as to what these people voted for. So that's amazing. Yeah. But then we get, on the other side, yes, duh, which means, that's going to be only Luke. That's it, But I don't know what I agree with. I think I voted for heck no, because I really think we'll get, I think we're going to get way more than Luke. I really think that way. And look, if you don't mind, Gerry, I'm going to end up reading what these people submitted too. Do you mind?
Yeah, go ahead. No, I say. Well, all I will say is you can tell that I wrote this question and then came up with the answers for the poll because I did it very confusing. So I wonder if the 18% were like, "Oh yeah, there's going to be more," or like it's. And you can also tell because it's yes, duh, or heck nah.
Heck nah.
You guys are welcome. I am a Gerry, complicated individual.
He was actually offered the role in Point Break. Back in the 90s. So, he was actually going to be Anthony Kiedis' role. And if you don't know that Anthony Kiedis is in Point Break, you need to check yourself because that's one of his best roles.
As a song, a famous song from I believe from the 90s once said, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Is that from the 90s? Is it?
You know what? I know one thing is from the 90s.
Me.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, why don't you just read this first thing there, Scott, so we can move on from this awkward moment. I'm just going to go...
Mr. Draft Prawn wrote in...
I'm just going to go eat my headphones.
Draft Prawn, this was a piece of art I saw several months ago, and I wondered if something like this could happen to Rey in Rise of the Skywalker. Could Rey be assisted by Force ghosts of Jedi that had passed into the living Force, assisted as in a bolstering of her Force powers in a pivotal moment? And look, I had never seen this art before. It's incredible. You got Obi-Wan, really? You've got Sebastian Stan, and you've got Yoda aiding Luke on the meditating on Ahch-To during the moment where he is across the universe on Crate.
Yes.
Ooh, across the universe. That was a good little...
like into a paper cup. Sorry, I'm going to do like a Star Wars version of that song. Which is an interesting thought.
What did you think of that, Gerry? It's pretty interesting.
I think I love it. I think it's awesome. Mr. Draft Padawan or Draft Prawn. I love this painting. I've seen this before on a Star Wars group I'm on, and I love it. My only thing is I'm the canon junkie. I'm the canon junkie, and I love Sebastian Stan and appreciate what he did and the stuff, but Anakin was the Force ghost at the end, so
that's true.
We're gonna have to have a Star Wars a fight or something there, Scott. A cantina brawl about that.
No, I don't. I honestly don't. I love the Hayden Christensen write-in. I really do.
I like
it's the smartest way to do it.
Well, and I like that it adds a little bit of through line. But anyway, sorry, that's my. And I'm just being a facetious little nitpicky guy, so I'm just messing with you, Mr. Draft Prawn. So please don't write in.
Ewok.
You can write in, but no, I love this painting though. I think it's awesome, and I absolutely would love it if something like this happened. Like maybe not exactly Rey force projecting, but if she's it's a pivotal moment towards the climax of the film. I don't know. We're about to get into some speculation, but gosh. I don't know, if something like this happened and you've got Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Yoda and Luke coming in and maybe even, heck, Qui-Gon coming in and helping bolster her and her, like, helping her, become powerful enough to defeat a certain Sith Lord or whatever's gonna. Who knows? We're speculating. So,
speculation, baby.
Speculation, but yeah, Scott. Yeah, Who's next? What we got here?
On mine, I have Hannah Ashton. Is that the next one? Yours?
Yes, Hannah Ashton.
Cool. I said I think we're getting at least 4 Force Ghosts, even if they don't interact with the characters like Yoda did in TLJ. Luke is certain. I think we might get Leia too at the end. Anakin is possible, and maybe one other, possibly Ben.
See, Hannah, you are putting on your speculation hat, ma'am. You are putting on your speculation hat.
It's on.
The tinfoil hats are on officially, guys. If you don't have yours on, put them on. Buckle up, because we're pushing the gas to the floor from here on out.
Buckle it up, baby.
Buckle it up. But okay, first of all, Luke is certain.
Yes. Guaranteed.
Here's my thing. I want to know what you think of this, Scotty. Why does everyone think Leia is gonna die in this movie?
She's not.
That is one of my things not to reveal. I agree with you. Yeah.
Yes. I don't think she's gonna die.
Guys, I think they've done a thing where we're kind of used to, well, they're gonna kill off one of the big three every film. Oh, Lord help poor Lando Calrissian. Let's hope he doesn't bite it in this one. I sure hope not. I have a feeling, guys, this is going to be the triumphant end. There are going to be heavy stakes.
Yes.
But this is the end game of Star Wars. Last Jedi was the Infinity War where everyone gets dusted. Like, we basically lost the entire Resistance. This is the, hey, we're pulling back together. It's going to be emotional, but we're going to do what we got to do to defeat evil once and for all. But I think Leia is going to survive through. I think she's going to be, and I think Lando is too. I think Leia is going to be able to live on forever in our minds.
Yes, and I agree with that. Look, I have a question, man.
What's up?
Are you ready?
Oh, I think I am ready, Scotty. What am I ready for?
To speculate.
Whoa!
Here we go.
I just imagine some kind of effect happening where, like, if we were on camera, the camera would have started shaking and stuff, and we'd have intensified. Conversation intensifies. That's that's happening.
Look,
right now. So.
Here we go.
Let's dive in.
I am ready to get into this. I've been thinking about this all week, and
let's do it.
I think the easiest way we can start off, just the simplest way. What duels will we see in The Rise of Skywalker?
Ooh, will we see duels at all?
And look,
I'm just kidding. If there's not one, we're probably gonna have it. The fandom would explode. But go ahead. What are you gonna say, Scott?
I know a lot of stuff has been leaked in regards to maybe certain types of fights we might see. Here's the deal. I haven't read any of the leaks. All right, I don't know. I don't think Gerry has either. We're one of the same.
And
we don't like leaks. But Lego, I don't care. Marketing leaks, those don't bother me. I like looking at the Legos. But if it's like story leaks, I avoid them 1,000, 100 million%. So
I'm the same exact way. Yeah.
With any rumor confirmations or rumors, this is strictly from what I've thought of. All right.
Yeah, we don't do story leaks because it's just we are the kind of film nerds who like to experience.
Yes,
we want to have a communal experience in the theater, seeing this for the first time. No, I know, Scott. I'm the same way because I listen to Making Star Wars a lot. I used to.
Yes,
I've stopped because they started really talking about a lot of Episode 9 speculation, and I just got to the point where I was like, I don't want to know anymore. I've
got the deets.
Jason has a lot of. He's been doing it. He's been doing it since the prequels. So of course he's got all of the hookups and stuff. And the man goes to Galaxy's Edge on the daily. So
yeah, and
his children helped Rey get out of being arrested. So
exactly, that was impressive. And
that was very impressive.
Well, I had the opportunity to meet Jason too. I'll say this, and we were talking about the trailer at Celebration. He goes, "Oh yeah, man, that confirmed a lot of things that I had heard, and I got some articles coming out in the next couple of months that's gonna rock your world." And I was like, "Oh yeah," and it was very nice. And I'm trying to avoid the spoilers. When TFA came out, I'm not gonna lie, I was on that website every day refreshing because I wanted all I could get back then. And I learned, just through little things that I'd rather preserve it for the theater now, And,
Exactly.
Huge shout out to Jason, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job, especially with the Mandalorian leaks. I'm fine with seeing those set photos. I cannot wait for that show. And he honestly held me over for a little while. That whole, December. No, I'm sorry, we haven't had Solo. Was in May. From from like June all the way to April. I mean, he was holding me out with those Mandalorian leaks.
Oh, but, he was getting some good stuff too. Yeah, no, but Jason,
really good stuff.
Jason, man, we love what you do. We love you, but no hard feelings. Yeah, it's your bread and butter. You do your thing, man. We appreciate it, but just we're just gonna like kind of sit over here, and we can still hang out and talk about other things. So, have you seen Stranger Things, Jason? No. Anyway, go ahead.
Look, here's the deal. I want to know from you, Gerry. Who are we gonna see dueling in this movie?
Man. The easiest answer is Rey and Kylo.
Well, of course.
But here's the rub. How many times are we going to see them duel in this final installment?
Very good point. That's such a good point because to me that's one of the most unpredictable things you could really say.
Right.
Because I have no idea. Like I have no idea because it seems like at this point, if I'm going to speculate in the timeline. I think we're going to start off with the jungle stuff we saw with Rey and Leia hugging, and that's like the only beginning I can think of. I mean,
that's what wrong. Didn't they I don't know if they confirmed it, but they said something that made it seem like this is where they start off whenever they showed that picture. And I need to look up those pictures again. I need to watch that panel again.
Yeah, I do. I do as well.
Oh, it was so awesome. That was the first thing we experienced together there, Scotty. That was so awesome.
I held hands. It was wonderful.
Yeah, and Katie was, giving me the side eye and stuff. So, it's cool.
Funny enough, you say that, Gerry. I don't know if I had brought this up yet in the show. Maybe I absent-mindedly did.
We might have when we talked about we did our celebration kind of overview of the first episode, episode 0.
Oh, yes, that was brought up way back when. Wow,
back in the day. Here we are,
episode 6. Like 6 weeks later. Look, here's the deal, y'all. I'm going to drop. Finally, people have been asking and waiting for it. My reaction to the Rise of Skywalker trailer in honor of this episode. Right. So. Stay tuned for that. When this episode drops, you will see that video as well. It'll be on the Bombad Cast page, YouTube page. It will also be on Abracadabra Films, my other page. It'll be on there as well. And it's going to be my reaction. And I got a friend of mine who I met at Celebration get Gerry's reaction in there too. He did not even know it. It's my reaction, Gerry's reaction. It's going to be John and James from Resistance Broadcast reaction. It's going to be a reaction from inside the Wintrust and a reaction from the IGN that they put out that's in the same room as the actual, it's the actual one we saw in the room.
Right.
Showroom floor. So stay tuned. It is pretty emotional. And I even have the amazing Wrote It Again on there too.
You gotta have that in there.
Yeah.
Well, and shout out to the friend we met him afterwards, Josh Sutter. Mm-hmm. Man, hey, such an awesome dude. I think he's on Twitter. I don't know his handle exactly right now, but I have fantastic individual.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Josh. I know you're listening here, and we really appreciate you
getting that
just
footage.
Hanging out with us and getting that footage because that's just such a special moment. Me and Scott, like our first adventure together. So
it's so cool.
Bombad cast and what an awesome! I know, but the Bombad cast before they were the Bombad cast. Yep. Can you guys believe it?
Beautiful.
I for one, Scotty, am so excited to see that. And not just because I'm in it, because I just that was such an awesome moment to be a part of and to see.
It was beautiful.
I'm excited because I love watching those again. It makes you feel like you're there again. If you guys weren't there and you want to know how it felt, that's watch that kind of stuff. Go watch the Black Series Rebels 3-part series that they did. That is phenomenal. That their coverage of it, that 3-part docu-series. Is exactly what it felt like to be at Celebration. So go watch that. If you like what you see, then buy a ticket whenever it becomes available for Anaheim next year. But anyway,
Sorry about that.
Enough. No, that's perfect. Hey, you know what? We plugged that awesome video that is dropping while you're listening to this.
And look,
today.
I'm going to be honest with y'all. My last reaction video to a Star Wars trailer, this is no exaggeration, has like 88,000 views.
That is insane to me. That's so
ridiculous.
Awesome.
It's ridiculous. So maybe this will happen again. I don't know. It's not as popular as it is right now because no new trailers have dropped. But I feel like
if all 88,000 people who watch that video watch that one, if you're listening to this now because of that, then just keep listening to our podcast. Come back.
Yes, but anyway, gang, look, let's get into this speculation. I'm sorry, I kind of diverged the conversation there.
That's all right. So wait, tell me about these duels. What do you think we're gonna get? Anyone else to have anyone else gonna have a duel?
Sheevy Babes. I don't know if he's gonna have a lightsaber duel. He might have some sort of force lightning thing.
Okay, well, wait. Let me ask you this because we're jumping in here and just. Do you think there's going to be a physical manifestation of
100% in the flesh? Yep.
Okay.
Totally.
I think that too. Because why else would they bring out Ian McDermott?
Yes.
In that panel to say roll it again. Like, I know it's like, well, they used an old clip of him laughing from Return of the Jedi and stuff like. But you don't bring that person to be on the thing just to go roll it again. I have a small cameo with just my voice in it. Might actually be Sam Witwer. I don't know.
Legitimately, and even I think the cast confirmed it that he was on set.
Yes.
Ian McDermott was walking around. Like, that should 100% give it away.
Well, it's right. Well, do you think it's because some people are like, well, he's going to be a force spirit or a hologram. I don't think he's going to be a hologram. I think he's going to be some sort of manifestation. He might be a more grotesque manifestation of Palpatine. But this, if I may, Scotty, I'm kind of hijacking things here.
No.
But if I may go into my theory on Palpatine and how he is back.
Do it.
Okay, all right, buckle up, kids. I'm telling you, we told you we were gonna get crazy up in here. Here it is.
Go.
But we always speculate responsibly. Shout out to the Force Center podcast. Remember, guys, you don't want to get your expectations up too high and then be bummed out if it doesn't happen the way you want. But here's what I'm thinking.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so we've got Palpatine, and Vader throws him over the edge of the thing. Okay, is it a cop-out? Does it make Vader's sacrifice and all that less because he got thrown over? To me, no, because the sacrifice Vader made was for Luke.
Yes, I mean, he was trying turn back. Yeah,
right. That and to me, because of that, you cannot say that Vader's sacrifice meant nothing if Palpatine's still alive. For one thing, I think Palpatine did die.
Yes.
I think Palpatine died. I think evil was gone for a while. But much like Sauron in The Lord of the Rings, or pick your fantasy. This is a fantasy series, guys. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. Look, these ancient evils tend to come back. Remember, there was a rumor that the title for The Force Awakens was The Ancient Fear.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Here's what I'm thinking, Scott. I am thinking Palpatine was not lying to Anakin about figuring out the way to cheat death. I think I've heard people say, well, he was just manipulating Anakin. I absolutely 100%. But I think he actually knew it, and he was holding it away from Anakin, or he figured it out and didn't tell Anakin.
He might have figured it out over how would you say, the 30 years between these movies, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
That could totally be a possibility.
Because the thing we know about Sith don't do the Force ghost thing. They don't get to come back as a benevolent spirit. They don't get to come back and live on in the cosmic force.
No, not at all.
Because they're all 100% physical. So they're all about power and greed and all that. So Palpatine, his anger. Well, look at Darth Maul. Darth Maul gets cut in half, falls down a pit, survives on a trash planet with infections and all kinds of stuff because his anger for, and I know people are like, that's not realistic. Look, this is Star Wars, space wizards and lightning out of fingers. I mean, what do you want? To me, it makes the dark side scarier and more evil and malevolent. If you, gosh, just the anger of a person who is a practitioner of the dark side can keep them alive. I think Palpatine did die, but I think somehow he figured out that secret of how to come back, to cheat death. And he has been building power up until then. And honestly, guys, I think he's been in charge of the entire... I think he's been behind the scenes the whole thing, and we're going to see that in this episode.
Oh, he totally has.
And you look at all, everything makes sense. And honestly, guys, I'm 100% on the Ben Demption train. I think Ben's coming back to the light. I'm not going to 100%. I'm open to the Force. I want to see what happens, but I think that he's the one who's manipulating Ben. I think that Snoke was his apprentice, or like a puppet of his. He would not like he was talking through him, but like somewhat a pawn of his.
Yeah.
Which is why he just died. See, this is my man. I'm telling you, I'm like Charlie Day in that GIF with all the like
it's the best.
Strings behind him.
Always Sunny.
I look exactly the same. I'm putting my fingers through my hair and stuff, but he is. Guys, he's been behind the whole thing. I think he was talking to Kylo through Vader's mask.
It's definitely possible.
I think because he says, "Show me again the power of the darkness." Why would Vader show him the power of the darkness? He makes it sound like... Anyway, again, I'm going off and I've hijacked. But Scott, tell me, what do you think, man? What do you think about that?
No, in regards to what you're saying about having the ability to manifest again, like with the dark side user, I think it's 100% possible. Because think about it. Look at all the stories, and like you said with Maul in particular, what it's taught us. Like, especially with Luke and everything, Luke and Obi-Wan, both, and Yoda have all faded into what would be the cosmic or the living force, right? Now,
right.
Each time we've seen a Sith person die, it's always been like, of course, just depends. It varies. I mean, I'm trying to think of Dooku just got his head cut off and nothing happened there. But we don't see Palpatine die. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. You do not see his head get cut off and his, face rolls over it. Snoke, you see Snoke die, right? You didn't see Darth Maul die really either, Like we
assumed the cut in half thing was him, because usually people, I want to quote the Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. I don't know if you've seen that, Scott. Awesome movie. Yeah. This is the worst case of cut in half I've ever seen. I couldn't attach the bottom half to the top half. Anyway, continue.
No, but I agree, and for it. You don't really see him die. You just see that explosion of blue. Now, another thing we can speculate on, that blue has been seen a lot more lately in regards to...
That's right.
Yeah, in regards to any bit of storytelling in Star Wars. Rebels...
See our animation episode last week where we talked about animation, and you can find some answers there, possibly.
Yes, and another thing I want to kind of speculate on, too, is the possibility of Palpatine being, being related to Rey. Now, I never was on the band camp. I never was on the what's the word? Bandwagon, yeah.
Bandcamp is a great website to support local artists.
Independent artists.
Go check out independent artists on Bandcamp. Shout out. Okay. You thought you were listening to a Star Wars podcast. All right, go on.
But no, seriously. I need just give it a moment of thought, and I'm getting on the bandwagon. I'm not on the bandwagon of Rey being a Palpatine, but I am not the kind of person that obsesses over Rey's origin and who her parents are. Though JJ has confirmed we will get that, and I would love to know. And if it's a pauper's, they die in a pauper's grave and Jakku, that'd be amazing. But there's a big line that's always been used in Star Wars. From a certain point of view. Yes. It's just such that phrase can mean so many things, and that's something that I feel like fans might have to cope with, that we might get something that's very unexpected with this movie, and from a certain point of view it is true, especially in regards to Rey's parentage and Rey's abilities and where the Force might have awoken in her. So and if you were to take a step back and look at this, what this movie could do, I mean, let's be honest, we see The Force Awakens. We're all hyped. What could this do? But it's the entry into a trilogy, so it's gonna be fairly dense, but not quite that dense. Well, they ended that movie right where the next movie is going to begin, so there really wasn't that much to speculate on. There was enough to really think about. Well, we know Rey's here. We know what's going on with the Resistance. We know Starkiller's been blown up. But now we've got this 1 year gap that books are going to fill in and stuff. But there's going to be a pretty clean slate in regards to what will 100% happen that we aren't expected. Like, we probably have a 10%, about 10% of knowledge that we know, in this movie so far. But we got 90% left at this point. Like, really, and where the story could honestly go. And that's the thing about this speculation episode. Having this 90% really does keeps me busy while I'm, doing mundane things at like work or outside or, chores, whatever. Like, speculating on this stuff is such an exciting thing to do. And I mean, this is going to be very bold, but I think we might see some sort of time jump.
Oh,
I don't know if it's going to be to the back or to the forward in the future, but I don't know.
So are we talking World Between Worlds kind of time jump, or are you talking about like we're going to move forward or backwards and like maybe like get like a flashback or
flashback? I'm thinking like
visions.
Flash.
You're thinking visions?
Force back, or whatever they called it.
Oh yeah,
Like I hope we get some more. Like, I
think we're gonna get the rest of the story of Kylo and the Jedi Temple.
Yeah.
I don't know. We might get that in the comic, the Rise of Kylo Ren that's coming out, but I don't know. Or
maybe Palpatine will make Rey see or Kylo see a vision in their heads of how he came back. And we might get all of our answers there. Who Snoke is and why he's the Black Bishop.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? I'm being serious.
Absolutely. Like, for real. Yeah.
We might get slapped in the face with some stuff.
All the people who are probably going to boycott this movie, who they don't do that. I don't want to give them a voice, but like they're probably going to get all their answers in this one.
Yes.
But anyway, go on.
Well, it just in that regard, like, it's just so much can happen. And yes, I really do foresee, something very bizarre occurring in this movie that's very unexpected. That being maybe a return to Mustafar or maybe a return to Tatooine. Like, I hope we see some planets we're familiar with. That's the one thing. This sounds really stupid of me, and I usually don't dwell on the negative, but I kind of wish we had seen some more, Star Wars planets we've been rooted in,
Right.
In regards to, like, maybe a visit to Tatooine at some point, or Coruscant.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, look at this. I mean, for the most part, they kept the Yoda scene in TLJ silent, because I was in the theater.
So
I went,
silent.
Yoda! It's Yoda! They did that awesome behind the head shot of him. Oh, it was
such a good shot.
So masterful. But anyway, I know a lot of people probably knew that. We'd heard rumors that like Frank Oz was seen around the set, but no one really. I mean, they were like, "Oh, that would be cool," but no one saw it coming until like you were in the theater and
so incredible.
Boom! It smacked you in the face with the nostalgia.
It did.
But I honestly, Scotty, I think they could JJ could just look. We talked a little bit last week, didn't we? About did we talk about Kevin Smith talking about how he was on set and he was and he was like saying how JJ said, look, the last shot of the movie is set up on this set over here, and it'll melt your mind. You need to experience this in the theater.
God, could you imagine?
What if it could be on one of the planets we're familiar with? And again, I'm with you. I would love to see one of those. I'm not going to be too overly upset, and I don't think you are either if we don't get that.
No.
But I'm a little salty sometimes when it comes to like seeing some of the aliens we're familiar with. I want to see tons of new aliens, but I just throw me a Rodian and stuff every now and then. And with Solo, they did like a lot of
Solo. They
threw some bones
sweet
to me.
Twi'leks in there. Yeah, that was nice.
But I'm not pulling out my boycott shirt, or anything. Anytime soon. I don't own one, guys. But no, I love all the new creatures in the beginning. But seriously, to see some stuff we're familiar with, and that's one of the things that was really the genesis of this episode, Scott. We were talking kind of about how are they going to kind of tie the entire saga together.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about that a lot lately this week. especially in regards to such a big story they're gonna have to tell with this last movie. And I know JJ can do it. I mean, we obviously know Colin Trevorrow couldn't, but in regards to like things and little Easter eggs we might see some B1s. You know, I'd love to see a B1 battle droid.
It'd be pretty cool. Even like broken down and like kind of like Lena gets. It would be so just for the connectivity of the world. Yeah,
something, just little things. I hope we might get some old trooper helmets, just little things like that. You never know.
Like a clone trooper helmet, like sitting on a shelf or something.
Phase 1 clone, something.
Which is honestly, this is what Resistance does fantastically. We kind of talked about last week, is like showing us a little bit of H era.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
Give us some of that in the films, man. Give us that in the last installment of the Skywalker saga.
You know, maybe we'll make a return to the Jedi Temple for some reason. That was the Sith Temple, actually. After
Palpatine's
left,
yeah. Well, it had if I remember correctly, there is a Sith Temple. It was built on top
under it.
It was built on top of that, and then. Oh man, I remember reading the Tarkin book when you found out for the first time that Palpatine turned the Jedi Temple into the Imperial Palace, to the Emperor's Palace. Incredible. Oh, such sweaty nerd fun. That was.
It's so like, brutal.
I lost my mind.
Though.
I know, and that was just. Oh, that was such an awesome little twist that they put in, a little wrinkle they added to the story. But that would make sense. We've got some Palpatine stuff coming up. Maybe they do. Maybe some character goes there to kind of find some information or whatever on Palpatine. You know, maybe one of the. Maybe,
definitely possible.
Maybe Finn and Poe. Maybe Rose. We haven't seen much of Rose. Maybe she actually goes on a mission of her on her own.
Her own one. That's true.
You never know.
Never know, man. That's really good thinking. I didn't think about Rose. And it's been very clear. JJ said he's going to stick it to the new characters. This whole thing's about the new characters, and you know, I do think we'll get a Force Ghost thing. I think it'll be a little bit like Harry Potter, like there was a final duel, and you remember the final Harry Potter movie, Jerry? Did you see Deathly Hallows Part 2?
Oh,
where all of them kind of helped in the final battle. Like all the kind spirit people did.
Everyone had like a little thing to do. Yeah, his mom and dad and Severus and all them kind of like came and helped him.
Yeah.
Spoiler alerts for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
I mean, we could get something like that. That
would be pretty cool.
I mean, look, I'm going to kind of flow into our listener and viewer opinions as well while we do this. We can keep speculating. This is not the end of the discussion. But Troy, who was on our show for the video games episode 4, if you haven't listened to that episode, go check it out. Troy's my cousin, man. He did a great episode. His name is
Troy's fantastic.
27. Yeah, and he wrote in a very interesting one that actually got my brain going for the past 3 or 4 days. I want you to hear it. All right. He wrote, Rey is a Palpatine. The ghost of Palpatine sends her back into the past somehow, lost in no memory of who she was. She turns out to be Shmi Skywalker, mother of Anakin. Credits roll, and we leave the theaters with our mouths dragging on the ground. Could you imagine?
That would be insane.
If Rey was Shmi.
That's a bold move too.
That's wild. To create some sort of time paradox, some sort of ever-revolving time paradox for the Skywalkers. Oh, man.
Can you imagine the fandom after that, too, if something like that happened?
Cool. You know, and it's okay. Accept these wild theories right now. It's really fun to speculate on that.
It's so much fun, guys. Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's what we used to be about.
To have Shmi be involved with this somehow in the story would be very interesting. Now, I don't know if it would be to this extent. And if it was, I would be mind-blown. And I honestly, going to be real with you, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it.
I don't hate it either, honestly. I saw a little hate for this theory online right before we recorded too. I don't know if it's going around or whatever, but I'm just kind of like, guys, we can speculate. It's okay. You don't have to yell at every little thing. Not everyone who comes up with one of these theories is anti TLJ or Ryan Johnson or do anything like we got to get along, guys. We got to be able to speculate on some of these things and just say, well, what if? That's a fun question to ask sometimes without getting all high and mighty.
Exactly, and it's okay to get this wild. You have every right to get this wild. And
that was what used to be so much fun. Anyway, go ahead. I'm getting on my soapbox, man.
No, it's all good. No, dude, get on it. Get on it.
All right. You know what? No, I'm just playing. We love again, and we love you guys. So if you disagree with that theory, let's talk about it. You know, that's what we used to do.
Man,
don't just quote tweet somebody and post about it on Twitter. Like, let's have a discussion.
Discuss it.
We're reasonable people.
It's easy. Just get a Skype and y'all can talk about it. Anyway, Sean Fabry, our friend at Safari Ben, wrote in, and we might actually have a collaboration with this dude coming soon. We need to get the ball rolling on that. Sorry, Sean, we've been real busy, but we're going to be in touch with you this week.
Sean he's going to be guesting sometime soon, so keep your ears open. Sean, fantastic individual. So follow him at Safari Ben. But anyway, what did he say?
Remember, in TFA, Kyle says perhaps Leader Snoke should consider using a clone army. Maybe they had already been working on it. Led by Palpatine, who had been guiding things. And who would be the most threatening clone? Anakin. The Sith Trooper is a clone of Anakin.
Holy crap.
Insane.
Holy Snokes.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, Ben. I called him Ben. Sean. Yeah. That is, you're blowing
wild.
my mind right now. That is... Again, guys, hey, we are on the speculation train right now.
That's wild.
Can you imagine? They would never win.
No, and especially in regards to, it would kind of make a very interesting idea of if you clone someone with the Force, is the Force still powerful with them, or does that diminish? Because I feel like now with Legends, it was like that the Force just happened to flow through you. But I feel like the Force has a choice now. The Force is way more of a character now than it was before, which I think is fantastic.
Oh, I love it. It's so awesome. Well, and we also have canon things with the clones now, the clone troopers with Jango's clones. They're different people. Yes. They have the same DNA, but they're not the same person. And they're like, in fact, the Jedi, that was one of the things that ended up kind of almost ruining things for Palpatine is the Jedi brought out the individuality of the clones. And so that's kind of a thing there. So I feel like they would kind of be their own.
That's a really good point.
I feel like they'd be their own people, but still, Anakin, very skilled warrior. And that's why they picked Jango, because he was a skilled warrior. So you've got
one of the best.
You've got to think even if they aren't as strong in the Force, or if they are, maybe don't have a Force connection as clones, they're still. They still will be a formidable army to go against if that's Sean. That was fantastic insight.
That was excellent.
That is so crazy. If I may, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next comment, Scotty. If you're okay with that.
That's fine. My dog is losing it in the background. And I don't know why.
I can hear that. My cat Jack made a cameo a little bit earlier. I don't know if you guys quite heard him. Yeah, he goes meow. Anyway, he likes to just stop by and say hello. So
give me a moment. Let me go handle this real quick.
Go for it. Go for it.
Pause the recording.
That sounds good. Okay.
Obi-Wan. No, sir. No, I didn't pause mine. I'm just keeping it rolling.
Obi-Wan.
Alrighty.
Obi-Wan. That's
Sorry
a name
about that, y'all.
I
That was my dog
heard
Obi-Wan. That's really his name.
Time.
Oh my goodness. Hold on. Obi.
Well, of course I know him. He's me. Oh, sorry. I'm going off on I'm quoting old Ben Kenobi. No, you let me apologize, sir. Gosh dang it.
I am.
Gosh darn it, Scotty. Anyway.
No, it's okay. Alrighty.
Okay.
I am back.
All right, so I am going to move on here. Let's see. We are going to hear from Stargazer 1000 1116. I don't know why I said numbers not do good with brain. I apologize, Stargazer 1116. I started to say it, and then the mental block, just my brain hit a brick wall made of numbers.
It's no, you know what it is? It's like when you're in elementary, middle school, and you're all right, you've been practicing the paragraph that's coming up next for you to read, and then you get to it, and you're like,
brain. Funny story about something like that. I'm not going to tell right now, but I had a friend who had a concussion. He was speaking. I think it was in front of a church actually, and he was trying to do something, and he was saying a prayer, and his brain just kept he didn't know he had a concussion, it was like a couple days before, and he just like couldn't say words. He's like, "Eat praise to your brain."
No way.
And and then like he had to leave, and like his brother took him to the ER, and it was a crazy day. We were scared at first, but then we laughed uncontrollably about it after we knew he was okay. But
yeah,
anyway,
that's amazing.
So that's what just happened to my brain. Brain numbers. Okay, so Stargazer 1116. Here we go. Rey, Ben, and Anakin finally destroying Palp. Ben dies, doing so sacrificing himself for Rey. She and Anakin resurrect him, and it ends with Ben and Rey piloting the Falcon off into the binary sunset. Wow.
Dang.
Stargazer 1116. You strike me as a Reylo, and you are amongst good company. That's
yes,
you know.
And that's a dense thing to write in a good way. That's like
I love it
heavy,
actually.
Man.
You know, I'm not 100% Reylo. I'm not against it. I'm not like hardcore like anti. I'm more of a Bendemptionist. But that honestly, it's whatever JJ does. I trust what they are going to give us. So if you give me Ben, and if they like have a whole moment like on Pirates of the Caribbean where they get married on the ship in the middle of that huge fight, that was a cool scene.
That was amazing.
You know what? It's all in the presentation. So give me a good story, give me great character moments, and I'm gonna love it. And honestly, Stargazer 1116, man, I love it. I love it. What you just wrote.
I liked
pretty
everything
cool.
she wrote. The one thing, or he wrote, I really don't know. It doesn't really clarify. But I like what was written about everything else. I would actually like if Ben just died though, and like couldn't be resurrected. It'd be the ultimate sacrifice. He becomes selfless, you know,
right?
And he takes one for the team, you know.
Right.
I would like that.
I do like that as well. But what we're gonna say? Continue, sir. Continue.
No. I did pretty much. That's about it. And I like the idea of Ben sacrificing himself for Rey, because it would kind of show where he hates her in The Force Awakens to where they're kind of mutual in The Last Jedi, to then like him doing a full 180.
Full selfless sacrifice.
Yeah, because it's kind of like he's turning 90 degrees each movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would really enjoy if in some way they did give him a farewell that was, you know, suitable for someone like his character.
Blaze of Glory meets heroic sacrifice.
Yes,
I can dig that. I can dig that. But here's my thing here. What I love about this, about him being resurrected, is I kind of like that it's if Palps is back through the reasons that we kind of discussed, my theory on it.
Yeah.
Where he's like the evil, like, here is the guy who figured out how to cheat death, and he uses it selfishly to come back. Anakin, after the death of Padme, that was his entire selfish dream was to bring her back selfishly.
Yes.
What a fantastic mirror of the saga would it be if he comes and helps resurrect Rey or Ben, bringing them back. Yeah, think about the power of that. Like bringing Anakin finally fulfills what he has always wanted to do in cheating death, or like being able to bring back a loved one. He brings back his grandson. Heavy. Isn't that like, see, I'm telling you guys, anything someone comes up with, don't just poo-poo things off the bat. You gotta like sit there and think about it, discuss with people. That's why we need to hear all of our different theories, guys, because that's what's so much fun about this, Scotty.
That's a really interesting statement to make, because, you know, and for us, we're very invested in this story, but I'm sure a lot of people forget that, you know, Anakin's a broken character. Everyone just sees Vader, and they think, oh, Vader's such a big bad guy. But you got to think about it. You know, Vader had 2 children he could never connect with. He killed his wife. His master treats him like garbage. And it was all because he just wanted to save. He had a premonition in his mind, which ends up being his own doing, which is very That's So Raven. But that's a whole different topic for another day.
Oh, please tell me we can do we need to do like
Yes.
a parody video of That's So Anakin.
Exactly, where it's that part where he turns to the camera, his eyes are red, and it goes, does the Raven Force Vision thing that it does in the show. Yeah. Anyway, I digress.
Oh, something amazing was just birthed, Scotty. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say
No, it's okay.
I'm going to the Zach Galifianakis joke with like a lot of people tell me I look like him, but he's got that joke. I love his stand-up. He goes,
It's
sometimes I look myself in the mirror and I think that is so Raven.
That is, it's amazing.
Anyway, continue.
Okay, so the next write-in's from Cammy's Corner at Cammy Corner, and it's actually Cammy as in Cammy from the deleted scene in A New Hope. I looked at her page, I'm like, who is this? And yeah, it's a pretty cool page. They post about nothing but Cammy. Very interesting. Who Luke married in
in his
Jason
Force
Fry.
Vision, in The Last Jedi. That was
cool.
Okay, we're gonna have to get into a book. Like maybe do an episode about books and stuff. And I've got to jump back on the Audible train so I can. I've missed the last. I've missed the last couple of books after Master and Apprentice and Dooku Jedi Lost. I've got to get back on, guys. I know.
Yeah.
But anyway, that to say, let's go. What does Cammy have to do? What does she have to say there?
Anakin returns to defeat Palpatine. Okay, once and for all, either as a Force ghost somehow, or goes by the name of character we've already met and is very much flesh and blood. What?
Okay.
That ending part where
Cammy's Corner.
I was like, what do you mean?
You're blowing my mind, right?
Like, what could that even mean? Does that mean that the reincarnation of Gerry, I'm sorry, hold on, bud. Katie's calling me.
Oh, you're good.
One
You're good.
second.
This is I waiting music while I wait for Scott to come back.
Now, you were saying you're wondering what that even means. I didn't know if you had any idea of what character we know that they're talking about. It's very much flesh and blood.
See, I would think, now this has always been my crazy speculation, that Rey, being a ray of light, is going to be the reincarnation of Anakin. It's everything that Anakin failed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and for Anakin to somehow move through her like a the Force Awakens, literally. Like the Force awakened in her is because of Anakin, and the dark side was rising, right?
Right.
And maybe on a whole different level too. How Snoke says the dark rises in light to meet it, right?
Yeah.
So you think about it that way, but think about now that we know that there's Palpatine, and he's been somewhere, stewing and getting more powerful. So think about that. So maybe Rey had become so powerful in the Force is because Palpatine was coming back, right?
Right.
And Luke had shut himself off, right?
Yeah.
And we do realize this. The Force is not just awakening in this one person. We got Broom Kid. We've got people all like Broom Kid.
The Force is going crazy trying to meet this threat. It's like if Luke's not going to do it, somebody's got to.
Exactly. And if you think about it this way too, Broom Kid, I don't think will have a significant role in anything at all after this.
I don't think we'll see him again in the films.
It's the idea of Broom Kid is the most incredible thing. Now, that could be, that could be a return of this, I guess light side Force using, and I don't know, but I like that Rian Johnson gave us that one subtlety that it's not just, Rey with the Force powers, it's not just Luke with the Force powers. We're talking a lot of people that are possibly having this Force awaken within them, and I like that. I like what Cammy wrote. But
it's very interesting. Yeah, I have to say, I don't know about I'm just personally not on board the reincarnation of Anakin train. But what I do like is possibly Anakin having something to do with her. But my speculation has always been, because, from day one of The Force Awakens, why is she so powerful? How can she use the Force right away? I think that the Force, I don't think the Chosen One prophecy is just about one person. I think the Force, whenever it needs someone, pops out a Chosen One. That sounds way less.
No, it's a great point, and
I don't think that she is the Chosen One. I think they were just chosen ones to come forward, and you can even argue that Luke was a chosen one.
Yes,
come to bring his father back to the light.
Very good point. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. This is a great thing to wrap on, and I hope everyone that has an opportunity to listen to this episode can get something out of it like this. Think about the Force with Episode 9. Rian Johnson fleshed out the Force amazing, and
fantastically. I love it.
I'm very excited. And Gerry, you want to close with anything else?
Man, I don't know. We're still kind of like trying to get our our subscribers up and all that. And thank you guys again for getting our followers up and all that. And
our
you guys
downloads.
You guys are gonna be hearing us maybe on some friends some other podcasts who are friends of ours and stuff. And so we're excited. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Actually, I'll go ahead and plug, if I may, Scott. The end of this week, I will, on Thursday, be a part of the live stream with Shannon over at Postcards from the Galaxy's Edge. So
excellent.
Check that out.
Excellent.
Thursday evening. I'm excited. I'm going to be repping I hope I represent the Bombad fam as brilliantly as possible. And you might be hearing me and Scotty on more shows and stuff. Me and Scotty, we'll go on and do guest spots ourselves, but man, we are a package deal. We love talking Star Wars together and with other people. So just keep your eyes and ears open, guys. There's a lot of stuff going on we're excited about.
In the works, but
yes.
Keep all the likes and the follows up. But I will say this: I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their week, and we have a little surprise planned for you next week in regards to episode. So stay tuned. But Gerry, you want to sign off with one last little thing for us?
Well, you know what? First, I've been realizing this. Maybe we should say you can follow us individually. You follow us at Bombadcast.
Yes,
or you can follow
the collective.
Right, that's our collective thing. You can get a hold of me and Scotty that way. But if you're like, you know what, I like these guys, I kind of want to follow them personally too. You can follow me at Junkie Cannon, or Cannon Junkie at Junkie Cannon on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram. I forget my handle there right now, but I never post on there, so don't ever go after me. I have a YouTube page as well, Cannon Junkie. But check that out. Scotty, where can the good people find you, sir?
You can find me on Twitter at @ScottJero, and Scotty Jero is my name. And you can also find me at Abracadabra Films, which is where I'm sure this new movie I'm working on will be posted.
A fantastic follow on there too, by the way.
Thank you, dude. And these trailer reactions will be posted as well. But that's it for me, and I'm very excited to hear what y'all think of this episode. So y'all speculate on and speculate responsibly if you want. But get hype, y'all. D23 is right on the corner, so keep that in mind. We'll get some good stuff soon.
A lot of good stuff coming up, guys. We'll see you next week with a surprise episode. And until that time, Scotty, let's stay Bombad.
What's up?
Bombad.
Bombad.
All Bombad.